Generations ago, the science of future energy involved building huge projects like this particle accelerator behind me, built back in the 60s by Stanford University and now owned by the Department of Energy. It investigated nuclear energy, like nuclear fusion, for instance. Today, the investments are even larger, but they're in many different places. A lot of small bets in many different technologies that look at reduced energy consumption and different forms of energy production. And we looked at the biggest high-tech company going these days, Google, to find out what they're doing. So, Bill Weil, what is your title and job description here at Google?
So I'm the green energy czar here at Google. At least that's what my business card says. I think HR has something else in their database for me. But my job is to make our operations cleaner and to do that in a way that helps the rest of the world get cleaner as well. And so to find and help develop technologies that can make everybody, help everybody reduce their carbon footprint.
As ridiculous as it sounds to have a corporate officer called a czar, it's actually not a bad metaphor. Czars ruled over millions of subjects. This czar is taking a look at millions of different energy users within the company and trying to reduce their consumption and increase their efficiency. But the problem is, ultimately, the energy we use today is just too tempting to resist. And what does the czar say about that?
Coal is very cheap, and coal-fired power is very cheap. Coal is essentially, it's dirt. You dig it up, you burn it. It's pretty cheap. Renewable technologies like solar and wind and geothermal are cleaner, but much more expensive. Wind is 2 times the cost of coal today. Geothermal is about the same, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Solar photovoltaic is 5 times the cost of coal.
And that's a lot of money to a company like Google, because high-tech companies have discovered that with their growth and their demands for computers and servers and electricity, companies like Google are energy hogs.
We do use energy. I would dispute the term energy hog. I think we actually are extremely efficient in what we do.
Is Google an energy hog?
Hogs, I don't know that I could say with any authority. They have huge data centers, so they probably consume a lot of energy, but my understanding was that they were making those data centers as green as possible.
I think every company uses a lot of energy, so I don't know, you can't really just single out Google.
We don't disclose exactly how much energy we use publicly because we consider that information a competitive secret. Obviously, unless we can make the energy cleaner, at a certain point we've got to find a way to actually reduce the amount of energy. And I think that the truth is, for the world and for Google, the right solution to the climate problem is going to be a combination of energy efficiency, using energy more wisely, saving money, saving energy, and making the energy a lot cleaner. So we're on top of one of the buildings at the Googleplex, in the Google campus in Mountain View. And here on the roof, we've got part of the solar photovoltaic installation that we put on this campus about 1.5 years ago. There's 1.6 megawatts of solar PV on the roofs of this building and I think 7 others. That 1.6 megawatts is enough to power 1,000 to 1,500 homes. And it's about, I think, 9,212 panels. So each of these panels is, 4 by 6 feet, more or less. It provides about 30% of the energy used by the buildings that it's on at peak. So it's a significant percentage of the energy we use, but certainly not all.
Perhaps the hardest science is what happens after we've all become as efficient as we can be, when we've changed all of our light bulbs, when we've bought the more efficient appliances, when we've converted all of our cars to electricity, or something like that. When we get there, we're still going to have a problem. And the research to answer how we're going to deal with that problem involves resources way beyond even a company as big as Google.
To get the kinds of transformation of our energy infrastructure that we need, it's going to take an enormously high price on carbon to actually cause the kind of market change that we need. And I think that's very unlikely to happen anytime soon. But what's needed really to solve that problem for the world is not just Google doing a little bit of this, but in fact, the US federal government and other governments around the world investing billions of dollars in really what I think of as early stage research, innovation, idea generation. Not just the incremental changes in products that are on the market, but the sort of fundamental breakthroughs and disruptive technologies that we just don't have today.